Throughout history, it has been proven that intellect is just as crucial as strength, whether in combat, cunning, or knowledge. Only a few individuals have earned the title of the smartest. Are you familiar with each of these beings? Once upon a time, in the ancient world of Greece, there lived a man of great wisdom and cunning named Odysseus. Born to Laertes and Anticlea, Odysseus was the king of Ithaca, a small but mighty island. His intelligence and resourcefulness were renowned throughout the lands, making him one of the most celebrated heroes in Greek mythology. Odysseus's cleverness first became apparent when he was a young man. He participated in the hunt for the Caledonian boar and the search for the Golden Fleece. But it was during the Trojan War that his wit truly shone. The Greeks had been laying siege to the city of Troy for 10 long years, and the stalemate seemed unbreakable. It was then that Odysseus conceived a plan that would bring the war to an end. He suggested building a gigantic wooden horse, hollow on the inside, where a select group of Greek warriors could hide. Once the horse was constructed, the Greeks pretended to retreat, leaving the horse as a supposed offering to the gods. The Trojans, believing they had won, brought the horse into their city as a trophy. That night, as the Trojans slept, Odysseus and his men emerged from the horse, opened the city gates for the returning Greek army, and thus Troy was conquered. But Odysseus's journey was far from over. The Odyssey, an epic poem attributed to Homer, recounts his long and perilous journey home after the fall of Troy. Odysseus faced numerous challenges that tested his intellect and resolve. One of his most famous adventures was his encounter with the Cyclops Polyphemus. Trapped in the Cyclops' cave, Odysseus devised a daring escape plan. He told Polyphemus that his name was Nobody. Then, he and his men blinded the Cyclops with a sharpened stake. When Polyphemus cried out in pain to his fellow Cyclopes, he said that nobody was attacking him, leading them to think he was alone and in no danger. Thus, Odysseus and his men escaped by clinging to the underbellies of Polyphemus's sheep. Odysseus's journey home continued to be fraught with dangers. He encountered the enchantress Circe, who turned his men into swine. Using his wit and the advice of the god Hermes, Odysseus persuaded Circe to restore his men to their human forms. He also navigated past the deadly sirens, whose beautiful songs lured sailors to their doom. Odysseus had his men block their ears with beeswax and had himself tied to the mast of his ship so he could hear their song without being ensnared. After enduring many such trials, including a visit to the underworld, a confrontation with the sea monster Scylla, and a stay on the island of the nymph Calypso, Odysseus finally returned to Ithaca. Odysseus' story is one of ingenuity, perseverance, and unwavering determination. His cleverness and strategic mind not only helped him survive numerous trials, but also ensured his legacy as one of the greatest heroes in Greek mythology. In the ancient world of wisdom and legend, King Solomon's name shines brightly. Solomon, the son of King David and Bathsheba, ruled the kingdom of Israel around the 10th century BCE. His reign is celebrated for its peace, prosperity, and, most notably, Solomon's extraordinary wisdom. The tales of his intelligence and judiciousness are numerous and deeply rooted in mythology and religious texts, making him one of the most revered figures in both Jewish and Islamic traditions. Solomon's wisdom was a divine gift. According to the Hebrew Bible, when Solomon became king, he prayed to God not for wealth or power, but for an understanding heart to judge his people and discern between good and evil. Pleased with his selflessness, God granted him unparalleled wisdom, along with riches and honor that no king before or after him would ever match. One of the most famous stories illustrating Solomon's wisdom is the Judgment of Solomon. Two women came to him, each claiming to be the mother of a baby. With no witnesses to determine the truth, Solomon devised a clever test. He proposed to cut the baby in half and give each woman a half. The true mother immediately cried out to give the baby to the other woman, preferring to lose her child rather than see it killed. Solomon then declared her the true mother, revealing his deep understanding of human nature and maternal love. Solomon's wisdom extended beyond legal matters. He was known for his knowledge of the natural world, as described in the Hebrew Bible. He is said to have spoken of trees, animals, birds, and fish, composing proverbs and songs. This vast understanding of nature and life was a testament to his broad intellectual pursuits and his ability to find wisdom in all aspects of creation. Solomon also built the first temple in Jerusalem, a monumental task that required not only physical resources but also exceptional organizational and diplomatic skills. His ability to manage resources and labor, alongside maintaining peace with neighboring nations, further exemplifies his sagacity. In the mists of time, among the towering cedars and the rocky shores of the Pacific Northwest, there lived Raven, a figure of immense wisdom and cunning. Raven, known in various indigenous cultures such as the Haida, Tlingit, and Tsimshian, was more than just a bird. He was a central character in the tapestry of the world's creation and the tales of the people. Raven was not always as we see him now. He was once white as the snow, a pristine and pure being. But his insatiable curiosity and cleverness led him on adventures that painted his feathers black as night. One of the most famous stories tells of how Raven brought light to the world. In the beginning, the world was shrouded in darkness, and the people lived in perpetual night. Raven, ever the trickster and problem solver, knew that a great chief kept the light hidden away in a series of boxes. Raven transformed himself into a pine needle and floated down a stream where the chief's daughter drank. She swallowed the needle, and soon she gave birth to a curious, raven-haired boy. This boy, of course, was Raven in disguise. The chief, doting on his grandson, eventually gave in to the child's incessant pleas to open the boxes. One by one, the boxes revealed dazzling treasures: the stars, the moon, and finally, the sun. Raven, unable to contain his excitement, transformed back into his bird form, snatched the sun, and flew up into the sky, casting light across the earth. Though his feathers were scorched black in the process, he had succeeded in bringing light to the people. Raven's intelligence was not just in his grand deeds, but in his everyday interactions. He outwitted animals and humans alike, always finding ways to secure food, shelter, or treasures. Yet, his stories were not merely about his cleverness, but often served as moral lessons, teaching the values of resourcefulness, resilience, and the consequences of greed and trickery. Once upon a time, in the heart of the African jungle, there lived a cunning and clever spider named Anansi. Anansi was not just any ordinary spider. He was known throughout the land for his sharp wit and brilliant mind. The stories of his intelligence spread far and wide, teaching important lessons about ingenuity and resourcefulness. One day, Anansi decided he wanted to possess all the world's wisdom and knowledge. He believed that if he could gather it all, he would become the wisest and most powerful creature in the jungle. With this goal in mind, he set out on a journey to collect wisdom from every corner of the world. Anansi spun a large, intricate web to hold all the wisdom he collected. He traveled to the farthest places, met with the wisest creatures, and gathered their knowledge, storing it carefully in his web. As the web grew heavier with wisdom, Anansi's pride grew alongside it. He believed that he alone should possess all this knowledge, and he kept it hidden from the rest of the world. However, Anansi soon realized that the web had become too heavy to carry. He decided to hide it in the tallest tree in the jungle, believing that no one would ever find it there. As he climbed the tree, struggling with the heavy web, he noticed his youngest son watching him from below. Curious, the son asked, "Father, why are you carrying that web so high up the tree?" Anansi, irritated by the question, replied, "I am hiding it so no one else can have the wisdom I have collected." His son thought for a moment and then said, "But father, wouldn't it be wiser to share the knowledge with everyone? That way, we could all benefit and become wiser together." Anansi paused, realizing the truth in his son's words. He had been so consumed by his desire to possess all the wisdom that he had forgotten the true value of knowledge, its ability to be shared and to help others grow. With a humble heart, Anansi decided to share the wisdom he had gathered with the rest of the jungle. He carefully unraveled the web, and as he did, the wisdom spread throughout the land. The animals and creatures of the jungle became wiser, and they all celebrated Anansi's generosity and newfound humility. From that day forward, Anansi was not only known for his cleverness but also for his willingness to share his knowledge. He continued to use his wit to teach important lessons and solve problems, always remembering that true wisdom lies in sharing and helping others. In the ancient Norse pantheon, Loki stands out as a figure of immense complexity and cunning. Often described as a trickster, Loki's intelligence and wit are legendary, making him one of the most intriguing deities in Norse mythology. Loki's sharp mind is evident from the many tales where he uses his cleverness to navigate difficult situations, often with a mischievous twist. One of the most famous stories highlighting Loki's ingenuity is the tale of the building of Asgard's wall. The gods needed a strong fortification to protect their realm from giants, and a mysterious builder offered to complete the task in an astonishingly short time. But he demanded the sun, the moon, and the goddess Freya as payment. The gods agreed but set a seemingly impossible deadline, confident the builder would fail. However, as the deadline approached, it became clear the builder might succeed. In desperation, the gods turned to Loki for a solution. True to his nature, Loki devised a plan. He transformed himself into a beautiful mare and lured away the builder's powerful stallion, which was critical to the construction. Without his horse, the builder could not finish on time, and it was then revealed that the builder was actually a giant in disguise. Thanks to Loki's quick thinking and shape-shifting abilities, the gods kept their prized possessions, and the wall was completed without the promised payment. Loki's cleverness is not always used for noble causes. In the story of the theft of Idun's apples, Loki's trickery brings peril to the gods. Idun, the keeper of the golden apples that grant the gods eternal youth, is kidnapped by a giant named Jotzi after Loki tricks her into leaving Asgard. The gods quickly age without the apples, and Loki is forced to rectify his deceit. Using his shape-shifting abilities once again, he transforms into a falcon, rescues Idun from the giant's clutches, and restores her to Asgard, thus redeeming himself and restoring the gods' youth. Loki's intelligence often borders on the chaotic, embodying both creativity and destruction. His ability to think quickly and adapt to changing situations makes him a formidable figure, capable of outwitting both gods and giants. Yet, his unpredictable nature and propensity for causing trouble often lead to dire consequences, both for himself and those around him. The duality of Loki's intelligence is perhaps best illustrated in the events leading to Ragnarok, the end of the world in Norse mythology. Despite his many contributions to the gods' victories, Loki ultimately sides with their enemies. His clever machinations and betrayals play a crucial role in the cataclysmic battle, highlighting the destructive potential of his cunning mind. Loki's legacy in mythology is a testament to the power of intellect and the fine line between genius and chaos. His stories remind us that intelligence, when wielded without regard for consequence, can be both a blessing and a curse. In the heart of ancient Greece, the goddess Athena stood as a beacon of wisdom, strategic warfare, and crafts. Born from an extraordinary event, she emerged fully grown and armored from the forehead of her father, Zeus. This birth not only marked her as unique among the gods, but also underscored her association with intellect and foresight. Athena's intelligence was unparalleled. Unlike other deities who often acted on impulse or emotion, she was known for her reasoned and thoughtful approach. She was the patroness of philosophers, inventors, and statesmen, guiding them with her sharp intellect. The city of Athens, named in her honor, was a testament to her influence. Its citizens revered her, believing that their prosperity and innovation stemmed from her divine favor. One of the most celebrated tales of Athena's wisdom is the story of her contest with Poseidon for the patronage of Athens. Poseidon, god of the sea, struck the ground with his trident, producing a saltwater spring. While impressive, it was of little practical use to the people. Athena, on the other hand, planted an olive tree, symbolizing peace and prosperity. The olive tree provided wood, oil, and food, proving to be far more valuable. The people of Athens recognized Athena's gift as superior and honored her as their city's protector. Athena's strategic prowess was equally renowned. During the Trojan War, she was a key advisor to the Greeks. It was under her guidance that the Greeks devised the clever ruse of the Trojan horse, leading to their ultimate victory. Her strategic mind was not limited to war. She also imparted knowledge of various crafts and trades, teaching men to weave, build, and cultivate the land. Her wisdom extended to justice and fairness. Athena presided over the first trial in the history of Athens, where Orestes was judged for the murder of his mother, Clytemnestra. In this trial, she established the principles of justice and the importance of reasoned deliberation, creating a legacy that would influence legal systems for centuries. Athena's intellect was also reflected in her relationships with other gods and mortals. She was often depicted as a mentor, offering guidance and support. Her interactions were characterized by a blend of respect and authority, always aiming to elevate those around her through knowledge and understanding. In the vast tapestry of Greek mythology, Athena stands out not just as a warrior or a deity, but as a symbol of the power of intellect and reason. Her stories teach us that true strength lies not in brute force, but in the wisdom to understand, strategize, and create. In the beginning, the Titans ruled the cosmos, immense and powerful beings who shaped the world with their might. Among them was Prometheus, whose name means forethought. Prometheus was not like the other Titans. He was renowned for his intelligence, cunning, and deep foresight. His wisdom often placed him at odds with the more brutish Titans, especially his brother Epimetheus, whose name means afterthought. When the Olympian gods led by Zeus overthrew the Titans, Prometheus saw the potential for a new order. Unlike his Titan kin who fought against the gods, Prometheus chose a different path. He allied himself with the Olympians, aiding them with his strategic mind, ensuring their victory in the cataclysmic Titanomachy. With the Titans defeated, the world was to be shaped anew. Prometheus took a special interest in the creation of humankind. He molded humans from clay, breathing life into them. Prometheus saw potential in humans that the Olympians overlooked. They were fragile and weak, but Prometheus envisioned a future where they could thrive through knowledge and ingenuity. One of the most famous tales of Prometheus's wisdom and compassion involves his theft of fire. Fire was a divine element, closely guarded by Zeus. Without it, humans were doomed to live in darkness, cold, and ignorance. Prometheus, seeing the plight of his creations, decided to defy Zeus. In a daring act of rebellion, he climbed Mount Olympus and stole fire from the hearth of the gods, bringing it down to earth hidden in a hollow fennel stalk. Fire transformed human existence. It brought warmth, light, and the ability to cook food, which led to better health and longer lives. But more than that, fire was symbolic of knowledge, innovation, and civilization. With fire, humans could forge tools, build homes, and develop arts and crafts. They could progress, stepping out of their primitive beginnings towards a more enlightened existence. Zeus, however, was furious when he discovered Prometheus's theft. As a punishment, he devised a cruel fate for the Titan. Prometheus was bound to a rock on the Caucasus Mountains, where an eagle, Zeus's sacred bird, was sent to devour his liver every day. Since Prometheus was immortal, his liver would regenerate each night, ensuring his torment was endless. Despite his suffering, Prometheus's intelligence and foresight never waned. He knew that one day, a hero would come to liberate him. That hero was Hercules, who, on his quest for immortality, passed by the Caucasus Mountains. Seeing Prometheus's plight, Heracles slew the eagle and broke the chains that bound the wise Titan, finally setting him free. Prometheus's story is a testament to his incredible intellect and enduring spirit. His actions not only highlight his wisdom, but also his empathy and willingness to suffer for the greater good. In mythology, Prometheus stands as a symbol of human striving, the quest for knowledge, and the enduring power of forethought. His legacy is a reminder of the potential within humanity, the spark of intelligence that can light even the darkest times. Once upon a time, in the realm of ancient Greek mythology, there lived a god named Hermes. Hermes was not just any god. He was a deity known for his exceptional intelligence, wit, and cunning. Born to Zeus, the king of the gods, and Maia, one of the Pleiades, Hermes was destined for greatness from the moment of his birth. From a young age, Hermes displayed an extraordinary cleverness. On the day he was born, he managed to escape his cradle and set off on a series of mischievous adventures. One of his first acts of ingenuity was to invent the lyre. Finding a tortoise shell, he strung it with sheep gut and created a musical instrument that produced beautiful melodies. This invention showcased not only his creativity but also his resourcefulness. Hermes' intelligence was further highlighted in the story of his theft of Apollo's cattle. While still an infant, he cunningly stole 50 of Apollo's prized cows and cleverly covered his tracks. He made the cows walk backward and disguised his own footprints by wearing sandals made of bark, thus confusing anyone who might try to follow him. When Apollo discovered the theft and confronted him, Hermes, with his quick wit and charm, managed to appease Apollo by gifting him the newly invented lyre. This act of clever negotiation turned a potentially dangerous situation into one of mutual respect and admiration between the two gods. As Hermes grew older, his intelligence and versatility continued to shine. He became known as the messenger of the gods, a role that required not only speed and agility but also a sharp mind. Hermes was responsible for delivering messages between the gods and mortals, and he did so with unparalleled skill. He was also the guide of souls to the underworld, known as the psychopomp, leading the deceased safely to their afterlife. One of Hermes' most famous exploits was his role in assisting Perseus in slaying the Gorgon, Medusa. Hermes provided Perseus with winged sandals, which allowed him to fly, and a magical sword to defeat Medusa. Hermes' strategic thinking and provision of these essential tools were crucial to Perseus' success. Beyond his many adventures, Hermes was also the god of commerce, trade, and thievery. He was known for his eloquence and persuasiveness, qualities that made him an excellent diplomat and negotiator. His intelligence was not limited to cunning tricks but extended to the ability to communicate effectively and bring about favorable outcomes for all parties involved. In the realm of Norse mythology, Odin stands as one of the most complex and intriguing figures. As the all-father of the gods, his wisdom and intelligence are unmatched, gained through relentless pursuit and sacrifice. Odin's quest for knowledge is legendary. One of the most well-known stories is his sacrifice at Mimir's well. Mimir, the guardian of the Well of Wisdom, offered Odin a drink in exchange for one of his eyes. Without hesitation, Odin plucked out his eye, casting it into the well. In return, he gained profound knowledge and insight, symbolized by the single eye he kept, always seeking deeper truths. Odin's relentless pursuit of wisdom didn't stop there. He hung himself from Yggdrasil, the world tree, for 9 days and nights, pierced by his own spear, in a self-imposed trial to understand the secrets of the runes. This act of self-sacrifice brought him the magical runes, symbols of power and wisdom, which he later shared with gods and humans alike, teaching them their secrets and uses. Odin also sought wisdom from the dead. He could speak with the spirits of the deceased, consulting them to uncover hidden truths and foresee future events. This ability underscores his role as a god of both life and death, bridging the realms of the living and the dead. In Asgard, Odin's hall, Valhalla, is a testament to his strategic brilliance. He gathers fallen warriors, the Einherjar, training them for the ultimate battle, Ragnarok. This foresight ensures that the gods are prepared for the inevitable end, showcasing Odin's ability to plan and prepare for the future. Odin's intellect is also evident in his companions, the ravens Hugin and Munin, whose names mean thought and memory. They fly across the world, gathering information and bringing it back to Odin, ensuring he remains the most informed and wise of all beings. Despite his wisdom, Odin is often depicted as a wanderer, traveling the realms in disguise, constantly seeking new knowledge and understanding. This wanderlust and insatiable curiosity highlight a key aspect of his character: the understanding that wisdom is not a destination but a continuous journey. Once upon a time in the vast and enigmatic land of ancient Egypt, where the Nile River wove life through the sands, there existed a deity of unparalleled wisdom and knowledge, Thoth. This god was not just a figure of worship, but the very essence of intellect and learning for the people of Egypt. Thoth was often depicted with the head of an ibis, a bird known for its grace and keen perception, or sometimes as a baboon, animals also regarded for their intelligence. His form alone spoke volumes about his esteemed place among the gods, but it was his deeds and roles that truly showcased his brilliance. In the realm of the gods, Thoth was the divine scribe, the keeper of records, and the inventor of writing itself. It is said that he created the hieroglyphs, the sacred script that allowed the ancient Egyptians to communicate complex ideas and preserve their civilization's wisdom for millennia. Thoth's invention of writing was not merely for record-keeping but was believed to hold magical powers, enabling communication with the gods and the dead. Beyond his contributions to writing, Thoth was also the god of the moon, time, mathematics, science, and magic. His wisdom was boundless, and he was often called upon to mediate disputes among the gods. One of the most notable tales of Thoth's intelligence is his role in the resurrection of Osiris. Osiris, the beloved god of the afterlife, was treacherously slain by his brother Set, who scattered his pieces across Egypt. It was Thoth, alongside Isis, who helped to reassemble Osiris and bring him back to life. Through his knowledge of the secrets of the universe and the sacred rites, Thoth ensured that Osiris could rule the underworld and offer eternal life to the deserving dead. Thoth's intelligence also played a crucial role in the weighing of the heart ceremony in the Hall of Ma'at. Here, the hearts of the deceased were weighed against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and justice. Thoth stood by, meticulously recording the outcome, ensuring that the records were kept with absolute accuracy and fairness. His presence guaranteed that the judgment was just and that the eternal order of Ma'at was upheld. Moreover, Thoth's wisdom was instrumental in the story of how Nut, the sky goddess, was able to give birth to her 5 children. Originally cursed to be unable to give birth on any day of the year, Nut turned to Thoth for help. With his cleverness, Thoth gambled with the moon and won enough light to create 5 extra days, known as the epigomenal days, allowing Nut to bear her children: Osiris, Isis, Set, Nephthys, and Horus the Elder. Throughout these myths, Thoth's intelligence and resourcefulness are celebrated. He was a god who understood the mysteries of the cosmos and the intricacies of human nature. His contributions to the pantheon and the world were immeasurable, making him one of the most revered and respected gods in Egyptian mythology. Now that you've learned about some of the most brilliant individuals in mythology, how about exploring the strongest? Not just individuals, but entire races renowned for their might across various mythologies worldwide. If you're interested, click the video on the left. To dive deeper into mythology, click the video on the right. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you won't miss future content.